Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. You found us at KGB Customs LLC here, where we try to share some of the most interesting custom pistols here on the net. We do a fair bit of consignment business and buy, sell, and trade here in the shop, and we try to happen through a few nice custom pistols. This one being a Chambers Custom double stack. This one is built on his 2019 frame, which ostensibly is a 2011 frame that he has made some geometrical changes to. I think someone will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but most notably being a slight relocation of the slide stop pin in the frame itself, which I think, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, was reverting it to the 1911 location and not the relocation that STI did on coming up with the 2011, which is their trademark, of course, that everyone now uses. But anyway, so it's a 2019 frame. Joe coined that term. I think he started building double stacks in, let me check my notes here, like 2018, 2017. And so 2019 being kind of the year that he firmed up all those parameters on the frame dimensions, and you know, had them, they're marked Chambers Custom. He has them machined for him to his specs. The gun is pretty near new in the bag. Does have a little bit of handling wear. The gun has only been shot enough to sight in the dot after it left Joe's. Now, of course, Joe puts about 500 rounds through these guns before they leave his shop, and that kind of, you know, is part of his, I don't want to say shtick, but process, in that, you know, his mission, as stated many times on his website and throughout his online presence, is to build an obsessively reliable and accurate gun, and to commit to that means putting some rounds through it before it gets in the customer's hands, and that's something I can certainly respect as a builder. I don't keep track of how many rounds I put through a build, but certainly the more complicated and intricate the build, the more out of the norm it is, the more rounds I put through it. And this is a fairly out of the norm build. You know, this isn't a government length gun. It isn't a single stack gun. It has a compensator. So a lot going on here that you need to vet out in that test firing process. A little bit about Joe. Joe has been building pistols quite a while now. He started out as a customer of Bob Marvel's, and in 2006 he went and met Bob, and in then by 2007 he was working with Bob Marvel at his shop, and Joe so had a pistol that he built win NRA Camp Perry National Pistol Championship. So that was a pretty big swing, right, from a customer of Bob's to building a trophy winning pistol. And then in 2008 he submitted some pistols to the American Pistol Smithing Guild, which they did accept him in 2009. He spent a lot of time with Bob Marvel. I think he worked for him for 3 years roughly, and learned a lot from Bob. And of course Bob is carried over into all of Joe's builds after the fact, and you see that a lot with the students of Bob Marvel. You know, I could name a half dozen guys who came up in the school of Bob Marvel who still carry on a lot of that, not only aesthetic, but carry on that numbers mindset of everything having to fit to the numbers. And Joe is probably the most prominent in the visual aspects. This pistol even has the Marvel top cuts, which you'll see have a little reflection to them. I believe those are just milled in after the blasting prep work to give it that differential. I don't know that Joe does anything to polish those. I think they're just well machined after the sandblast, which is a neat feature. Joe's guns really pretty much are either mirror polished or sandblast finish. This one being completely bead blast blued finish. So this is what he it's a 2019, but he calls it a PHAT working man's gun carry comp. So PHAT WMG CC. So carry comp, of course, is the single chamber compensator on the front there. Those are fitted on a coned barrel. Another thing that he carried over, of course, from Marvel. And so there's no bushing in this gun. Full length guide rod underneath. The barrel is a cart barrel. So we've got a commander length gun with a single chamber compensator on the front, a big chamber compensator. And so we've got Joe's blended dovetail front sight there. The rear setup here is his RDSM plate. So those are plates he has made to his spec, and they fit a number of different dots. This one has a EPS carry dot holosun on it, which is a nice narrow dot that fits the 1911 slide very nicely. This is a railed frame, so you can hang all number of lights and lasers and whatever else you need on there. The rear of the slide is gently matted. And another thing I just noticed turning it around in the light is the French border appears to have been machined in after the prep work and has a bit of reflectivity to it as well. The internal parts, per Joe's build sheet here, are all CCP parts, Chambers Custom Pistol parts. I'm not sure where those are sourced from, but I'm sure they're all made to his dimensions, and that's why he denotes them as CCP, Ultra Match, sear, disconnector, hammer, hammer strut, all that stuff. So all nicely tuned. Of course, the numbers on the gun, as you can imagine, are pretty tight. The gun, of course, has the Marvel disconnector ramp in the slide, and that aids in making the gun feel much smoother in and out of battery. There's, of course, been lots of discussion online whether that really matters in the shooting. It probably matters a minuscule amount, but that's what Marvel School and Joe are chasing, certainly. Nowadays, Joe has, I believe, 2 guys, maybe more than that now. It's hard to keep up, but a couple of guys working for him, and he's had a number of guys through his shop that he is, I guess, trained in building these types of pistols. And some of those were students of Bob's that then went and worked for Joe, and some of those are just guys that Joe hired and taught him how to build pistols. I believe this pistol was built by a gent named Kevin Casey. A neat pistol. This one is in 38 Super, which makes it quite unique and fun for me. 9mm with a compensator, it doesn't really move the needle for me, but when you start talking about a 38 Super with a high capacity magazine, that's a pretty potent pistol to carry around, certainly. And probably how, if you told me I had to order this gun, that's the caliber I probably would have picked, because it's going to make the compensator run really great, and make a really noticeable difference, and can be loaded up nice and hot. Yeah, that's about it on this gun. Be coming to market. Of course, please follow the link in the description for more information about us and to join our email list. Click some of these boxes around the outside here at the end of the video, and you can find some more cool videos from us. We appreciate you all tuning in, and have a great weekend.